I just retooled my clan boss team to put the most damage I ever have and the most single champion damage I ever have on a clan boss team in my life. And it's not an infinity, it's still an unkillable, but the amount of damage output in this team is ridiculous. Plus, as a bonus, I made a similar team where I sub out one champion with a rare champion, and that rare champion does nearly 40 million damage. What champion is that? Stay tuned and find out. Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. I am Mad Capper, and this is another video on Raid Shadow Legends. That is right, I have replaced my clan boss team. It took a mere month for me to remove my clan boss team with Bellinor, Xavia, Demytha, Seeker, and Eris, which topped out about 134 million damage. Did over 130 in 2 affinities. Was an easy key to run. But I went for more. Why did I go for more? Why not? Because I can. And I stumbled. There was a champion that I always wanted to use in the clan boss and wanted to figure out how. And I found a beautiful little comp. So why don't we take a look at it? This is my new team for the Ultra Nightmare clan boss going forward. Let's take a look. All right, here is the team: Cardiel, Seeker, Draco, Demytha, and Theodore. Yes, that is right. Theodore in the clan boss. Draco is back. And let's just show what this team can do. This is a pre-recorded key, and then I'll show you the stats and the gear and the masteries. Though, honestly, none of that really matters. Let's show you the team. Let's start this. So, the big thing is worrying about the stun and getting the speeds. Well, with these speeds, I actually have three champions on a 3-to-1 clip. This is based off of the Myth Buster on deadwoodjedi.com. You can look it up. It's a Demytha one called the Myth Buster, and it features Lydia and Turvold along with the 3 other champions. Now, I have Lydia. Didn't want to use Lydia. That's boring. I have not Turvold. And I could easily have used Lydia and maybe brought Draco in, turned off his A3 because you don't need it if Lydia's putting up the debuffs, and done that key easily. But I wanted to go further. I wanted to see if I could push that damage on my team even further. And so we came up with this team. Now, the key stats are here. You need that speed buff from a champion going really fast. And what this allowed me to do is to have Theodore with the speed buff going really fast and also doing a ton of damage. The key to this comp, there are kind of 3 keys to this comp. The first key is it is 3 champions going at a 3-to-1. Demytha going 3-to-1 for the block. You've got Cardiel going 3-to-1 for the buff, the debuff block. Plus he is doing ally attack and he's doing crit damage. And the fact that Theodore is effectively doubling down on poison damage. How is that? Well, he instantly activates the poisons, but he increases them by a turn first. So you don't actually lose any of the poison damage like you would with Xavia and her poison explosion team, which actually deals half damage on those poisons. It's something people don't remember or necessarily keep in mind. That's the problem with Elenarl, Xavia, and so they don't work as well in this. Now, I did use Xavia in my clan boss team, but I actually turned off for detonation because we want the full tick of the poison. But in the case of Teo, he's giving you the full tick of the poison, but he's extending first, so you're not losing any of that. So effectively, you have 7 poisons on the bar, and you're getting 14 poisons worth of damage every time, every round. And because Theodore's at a 3-to-1 and it's a 3-turn cooldown, it is happening every round. And Draco has 4 poisons, therefore, plus the 6, and you get one kind of, usually one mass silver because we get 1 extend off of masteries out of the 7 poisons. You're virtually always having 10 poisons on the bar when he uses his ability. And you can see already we're 20 million and 8. We're going to skip forward. I'll make you watch this whole thing. I want to get to the first and most important, because a lot of people ask yourself, Let's get up to about turn 19. So a lot of people ask, well, why do you bother with this? If all you need is 70.2 and you can walk away, just make a team that does 73 million on all affinities and be done with it. I'll tell you why. First off, because I love doing this. I love building teams in Clan Boss. It's actually my favorite thing to do. It feels better than building epics. I'm not going to lie to you. This is what I love. I love building out these teams. But also, from your perspective, why would you want to build it? Well, yeah, I can do a ton of damage. But as you're going to see here, at what turn can you turn off the Clan Boss key? Well, at 70.2, I can get there, and Infinity teams, granted, do this even faster. But this team gets there in 22 turns. In 22 turns, I can just end the key, take it, and run. So if I'm in a hurry, it's going to be under 10 minutes for this key, which is a very hard thing to do. I just watched the Clan Boss draft, the Clan Boss Clover draft, and see, we'll technically turn 23, but we're over 71 million now. So I could just stop it, walk away, 8 minutes, 17 seconds later, and I'm done. I don't have to wait 20 minutes or 18 minutes to get this done. But as I like to flex at the same time, we can see here, we'll fast forward. What you can see here, again, the stun, doesn't matter who's getting the stun. Everyone's got a block debuffs on it, so the stun's irrelevant. You've got crit damage increase. I'm not even using the crit rate buff. I was a little bit concerned. If I actually watch it, I don't think it falls off, so I could actually min-max these champions even more. But I wanted them all crit cap because I use Cardiel, and I use Teo, and I use Draco elsewhere. And I can still use them at the speeds they're at. Draco's a little bit slow. Thankfully, I have 2 Dracos. So if I need to use him, I'll probably just use the other one because he is slow here in order to get this full damage pop. But I can use Teo, and I'll talk about that when we go over his kit. I can use Teo, and I can use Cardiel. I use Cardiel in the Hydra all the time. I use Teo in some of the hard dungeons, one of the hard dungeons, and definitely in solo farm for 25 and 24 dungeons. So I wanted that still to be available to me. I didn't want Teo to be completely locked out, and that serves this purpose, and we'll talk about that when we go over the kit. But as you can see here, my previous was 134 million damage. We're already at 144, and let's go a little bit further. We'll see what the total damage is here. Well, I already know what it is. You'll see what it is. And here we are, just about to die, and we're going to hit 162 million damage on this team. 162, 542. It's my new personal best, and also my new personal best for a single champion. That's right. On my team, I had given Sugar the win, or Takata beat it with the first one to break 50 million on one of my teams, but now we have Draco at 57,090, the best damage I have ever done with a single champion in the Clan Boss. It was fun for me. I loved it. But let's also take a moment to recognize Theodore's 30.4 million. 2 of his 3 abilities don't do damage. That's off of Zay 1 plus those buff those buff activations, poison activations with the extension. Absolutely does tons of damage. Seeker, 35.7 million. Now my Seeker is a 5-star blessed, so he's getting a lot of extra damage there. But overall, wow, 35.7. Demytha, 14. My Seeker, my very first Seeker on a double Man-Eater build, the old style Painkeeper double Man-Eater with Draco, Seeker was doing 15 million. Now my Demytha is doing 15 million. And Cardiel, 24.4 million. Let's take a look at their builds and the team makeup. So there's the team in real time. I'm not going to run another key. Obviously, I already have it done. But let's just go to team setup here, maybe. And we'll talk about real quickly. So Cardiel, immediately, now the tune that I saw on the Mythbuster tune has him on a 2-turn delay on Spirit Affinity, and you do a 1-turn delay on normal, but I just did this by accident. I forgot to do the delay piece, and it worked. It worked on Spirit Affinity. It works on all affinities. So you don't have to do the 2-turn delay. I've tried to figure out if there's a scenario. As you saw, the key we witnessed was in Spirit Affinity. It did not change anything. Also, by the way, I just did a key yesterday for the Clan Boss, and I did 163 million on Magic Affinity, which makes no sense to me, because Magic Affinity makes Theodore weak, and Seeker and Draco strong. Whereas Spirit Affinity Seer and Draco neutral. And on Spirit Affinity, they should both be strong and Theodore should be weak. or a neutral. So I think Spirit Affinity I should do more damage, but actually I've done more damage. So there might be some RNG in that. But I did more damage on my magic key than I did on my spirit key so far. So that's a curious little happenstance, but still 162, 163 million. Obscene. So this is how the setup goes for Cardiel. Seeker, we're going to delay Tailwind by a turn by starting with his A1. Draco, I wanted to do the Poison Jaws because Theodore gets 2 turns before Draco gets back to his second turn at the very beginning. So I lose the first round of Poison Explosions from Draco. But when I put the poison up first, we were filling the turn meter bar and not getting Baleful Eye at 100%. So when I do this, it actually does get it at 100%. Or so far it has. I imagine technically if every buff you had got extended by 1 turn, except for Baleful Eye and Weaken, or the two, sorry, I keep doing that, Decreased Defense Weaken, then maybe it wouldn't work. But so far, we've gotten 100% on Baleful Eye, the ability both Weaken and Decreased Defense. So we do start with that one. Theodore does start with Savant Savi. We need this because of the increased speed, so we need that to be in tune. That's the important ability, but it's also putting the poison sensitivity and the poisons out so that when he comes up with his chemistry, which does have a weaken as well. Well, that does have a weaken. Interesting. I always forget about it. It's if they're not under the the poison or the HP burn, which is never going to happen. Okay, sorry, I'm just in my own world right now. I'm a little bit tired. We don't care about the resistance on this particular champion for that, so that's not a big deal. So the big thing here is, and I forgot to do this, so 270 speed, that's the same speed I use for Cardiel in the Hydra boss. Now I did take about 20k of his HP and put it into attack, and I did crit cap him with 250 crit damage. So I might have to change this back and lower some of his damage here. But the important thing is the speed is exactly the same as what I use him for in the sometimes I use him in the arena, but definitely in the Hydra boss. So this isn't a problem for me at all, which is really nice. Do I need to increase his resistance? Maybe. If that's the case, I'll lower his stats. We don't really need it. If he only does 14 million, we're still doing 150 million. So that's really good. He's still usable. Seeker, exact same speeds. I just had to crit cap him just in case, although we do still have a crit rate buff. I don't think it's 100%, so rather than trying to mess with that, I just crit capped him. Draco at 186, he's the slowest one, which is why I said maybe Draco, this does kind of put Draco just in clan boss because it's a little slow for him to be a debuffer. But 280 crit damage, almost 7k attack, 252 accuracy, all perfect. Then Theodore Savant, we said here 304 is the speed, and that's important because 304 speed is a usable speed for the hard mode dungeons. So I have him going fast enough that I can make use of him as I need to in the other areas and still be able to use him in the clan boss. We did crit cap him, but honestly his damage is only coming from the activation. He's very little damage from the rest. Great for min-maxing, but I didn't need to do this. We could have any stats here as long as we're getting that speed and accuracy. So if you're using them in other areas, just get him to that 302 plus speed and you're going to be fine even if you don't have all the rest of the damage. He doesn't need it. And then finally Demytha, 296, believe it or not, actually slowed her down. I don't have her crit cap, but she's making use of the crit rate buff at least. And 225 crit damage. She's doing a little bit extra damage. I think I swapped one piece out to change her from the old comp to this comp. And here the order's changing differently. We're going Light of the Deep first, Channel the Bloodline second, but we are delaying it a turn by using her A1 on that first turn. So that's how we use her. Let's take a look at the gear now very quickly. So all masteries are pretty much the same, but because we've already seen the stats, we'll just show we're all just using mixed gear. There's no specific gear I need here. As far as masteries go, we have him... The most important thing, obviously, is War Master. Let me move myself out of the way here. The important thing is War Master for extra damage. And because the comp said there's a case of him getting stunned, and this Steadfast actually changes the stun priority from him to the next in line. So we put him with Steadfast. As it turns out, I don't think I need it. I believe he's always got his debuff block up, because I use it right at the beginning instead of a delay as the comp had told me to. And so I think we're fine without it. I could probably test it, but I just, again, do I want to use 150 gems when I have 200 left? No, thank you. Next up we have, I believe the next one will be Draco. Draco at that 186. You can see this is going to be what most masteries look like here. I'm going to be having down this. Now, he doesn't need this. We're not getting stunned. He's not getting damage. So these retribution and deterrence are useless, but so is this, and so is this against a clan boss. There's nothing needed, so I just kept it as is. The big thing, War Master. Crit rate, 100%, 5% when attacking with full health, and War Masters. Only thing you need. The rest is just in case you're using them elsewhere. Teo, I actually didn't change Teo's masteries at all. These are the ones that are different. I'll move over. War Master, obviously, but you see, I still have this Whirlwind of Death because he can do some solo farming, and I want to keep that ability in him. Got enough speed now, probably doesn't have enough resistance. We might have to play with that, but he needs this speed, so I didn't change his masteries here. And he needs Spirit Haste, which gives him the extra 24 speed when allies die. So we're getting it when he kills, we're getting it with allies, gives him that extra speed for those comps where he can solo farm, and I kept that ability. Not doing it right now, but if I want that opportunity, that ability to be there. He's also extending Master Hexer, which allows him to extend buffs, which of course gives a chance for a 3-turn poison, 3-turn on the poison sensitivity, more for dungeon runs than for the clan boss. As far as his sets, again, nothing special here. We do have him in crit damage and then broken set speed set to get the speed we needed. We've already seen his damage. And then we'll talk about Seeker. Seeker, of course, has Phantom Touch. That's a big deal. Masteries, the exact same masteries as Draco. Same rules apply. And then finally, we have our Demytha. Our Demytha actually has the same buffs as well. Not really needed, but at least we have the War Master. Everything else is kind of not important for this particular case. So the Mastery is not important. Again, the artifacts, just having... I do have some Cruel on her to min-max, but honestly, I could probably take those off and still be fine. Which I might do. I might lower this damage down, reclaim some of this higher end gear because I don't need it in order to... As long as my Draco at 186 is doing that damage, who cares what everyone else... Teo's going to do the damage no matter what he's in. Draco's going to do the damage. Everyone else can kind of just whatever. So there's the team. There's the ones. Now, as I said at the start, this same team replacing Draco with a rare champion did almost 40 million damage. I'm going to leave you with that run. Let's talk about the champion because I thought it was actually crazy that this champion... I just did it because I needed a key with a rare champion for the advanced quest. I thought I'll just make a rare champion, slot him in somewhere, and I'll probably be able to do enough damage on Nightmare to make it work, right? Like, as long as I can get 40 million damage out of it, I don't care. I can put anyone. But then I thought, well, let's have some fun. And the champion that I did is Grave Chill Killer, which we did comps with Grave Chill and Frozen Banshee way back in the day. Grave Chill Killer has a kit that's insane. Is not very useful because it needs poison sensitivity. And when she was added, it basically meant she needed Frozen Banshee. Let's take a look at these skills. So she has a 3-turn cooldown on two 5% poisons. She hits 2 times. Each hit plays a 2.5% poison, but it's a 5% instead if the target is a poison sensitivity. Well, who has poison sensitivity? That's right, Teo does at 100% up time. So it means Grave Chill Killer, when in Draco spot, 100% uptime on this poison. But wait, that's not all. Baby decreased defense, but wait. It's instead a big one if they're under a poison debuff. Well, guess who's under a poison debuff 100% of the time? The clan boss. So now you've got a 3-turn cooldown on decreased defense. And you have a 5% poison on her A1. It's a 50% chance, just to add some poisons for giggles. All combined, this champion could do 38 and change million. There's her masteries. Again, these should look familiar to you. She's got the War Masters. She's got the War Master. She's got, this stuff doesn't really matter. The deterrence and stuff. So it's a War Master and attacking with full damage. So this actually allowed me to remove Draco. I lose the weaken, unfortunately. But what I gain is a champion that hits really hard for a rare and can put poisons and put up decreased defense and give me 1 key Ultra Nightmare if I need to in a rare champ. And honestly, yeah, I did min-max her gear. We put her in some perception, some crit damage, and some cruel gear. I can pull back this gear 100% and still have her work. Let's take a look at this team. I have it right here. The only difference between the two teams, as far as setup, is that she's in place of Draco, and she starts with Blood Chill because Theodore starts with his A2, so the sensitivity will up. Then we'll get the decreased defense up, and then she can just add poisons as needed to fill the bar. Right? Draco puts 4 up, but she puts 2 plus 50-50 chance of putting 1 here, plus on the ally attack another poison. So the poisons are almost identical to Draco's. She doesn't do Draco's A1 damage, but you'll be pleasantly surprised, I think, on how much damage she can actually do. So I'm going to leave you with that run. So I'm going to thank you. Please be kind, be safe. We'll see you in the next video. All that giggles. But here, we're going to bring it up, and we'll let this play out. I'm going to disappear, and you can watch just how much damage she's able to do in this comp. Thank you very much, and we'll see you in the next video.